All right, let's dive straight into our debate at this moment. Is this the political cold feet season? We are in fact joined in by Siddharth Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Deepak Vajpayee of the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Brijesh Kalappa, Congress leader here in our New Delhi studios, as well as Javed Ansari, our National Affairs editor. Let me first come across to you, Mr. Siddharth Singh. There seems to be some serious trouble within the Bharatiya Janata Party. You have Congress top leader Kapil Sibal actually throwing an open challenge. If you're so confident about the victory of Mr. Narendra Modi, why are you looking for a safe seat? Why not contest him from Azamgarh? And a follow-up question from headlines today: why this delay?
Well, Mr. Kapil Sibal should be thinking about his party and where their candidates needs to contest, and leave the BJP with our own decision. Now, coming just to give an answer, I don't know how much Mr. Kapil Sibal and those who are raising that the Varanasi is a very excellent seat and it's the safest seat for the BJP. Let me just highlight few things. In 2004, it wasn't held by BJP, it was held by Congress. Earlier, this seat was known always for Kamlapati Tripathi. Please hear me out. We are talking about after delimitation, not before, not prior to that. Then the question comes is, in 2009, the margin of victory for the BJP was only about 13 to 14,000 votes.
No, Mr. Siddharth Singh, this is again a very technical argument. The point here is not a technical argument. I get what you're saying.
No, I'm going to come on to all your Sanket. So allow me to speak. If you find that my answers are not helping to answer your question, you can again ask me those questions. Okay, so allow me to speak and make my point to you. So that argument that we are looking for a very safe seat
and 5 out of 6 in Varanasi
not there. Please, I cannot be, if I'm really missing your question then. Allow me to speak and then I can hear your question again.
No, go ahead, Mr. Singh.
So thank you very much, but please do not interrupt. That's all I'm asking.
No, this is Mr. Brijesh Kalappa of the Congress party who's asking you the question.
Then you should ask your other panelists to wait for my for
Mr.
me
Singh,
to answer you.
What he's saying is also relevant. See, he's basically questioning. You are saying that this is not a stronghold of the BJP. This is not like a traditional stronghold before delimitation, after delimitation. Kanpur has been held.
Kanpur has been held 3 times out of 6. And Varanasi has been held by the BJP 5 times out of 6. Naturally, Varanasi is more safe.
Again, I have answered the question. If you do not understand, Mr. Karappa, that there is a delimitation factor which comes into 2009
delimitation
onwards.
is hardly any factor, Mr. Singh. We both know that.
Yes, it is a factor. If you do not understand the constituencies, which are the segments which come and join after delimitation, what goes out, then you will understand.
But that's not the point.
So if
Mr. Singh, the point is, and Javed will come in here.
Of Varanasi, I can answer you on that basis.
No, Mr. Siddharth Singh, Javed will bail me out on this technical argument that you are putting forward. What stopped you from announcing that seat today? Why cold feet?
Because it was decided day before evening that UP list will come on 15th of March.
Why?
Now you all can play it, but we decided that 9 states will come today, and all those 9 states are important, and we are still sitting and finalizing on those 9 states. Few states are over. I believe there are 3 more states which I have left. Bihar is important for us. Isn't Madhya Pradesh important for us? Chhattisgarh is important for us. Assam is important for us. So all these states we have taken up.
Siddharth, can I ask you a question? Siddharth,
because UP has 80 seats, we will be discussing on 15th.
Siddharth, I get the distinct impression listening to you and the way you've assessed Varanasi that Mr. Modi, that you all are having second thoughts and that Mr. Modi may not contest from Varanasi. True or false?
I have no comments because neither I have the authority to make a comment or decide who's going to contest from which seat. That is being decided by the Central Election Committee and the UP State Unit when they come on 15th. So your 2 things, whether it is a safe seat, no, it is strategically, we feel it's an important seat. So therefore, those challenges which are coming from Congress, they need to address to their challenges that why Rahul Gandhi wants to go only to Amethi and Sonia Gandhi to Raebareli. And
that's
why
their constituency.
Mulayam Singh
They've been
and the
contesting
family
there.
are not putting candidates against each other.
So, considering the strategic value of Varanasi, will Mr. Narendra Modi contest from there, and will the venerable Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi be booted out from there?
Well, that is the decision which will be taken on 15, and I'll be there to answer that.
Okay. Okay, but you've still not answered the question, Mr. Siddharth Singh, that why this decision was delayed. I mean, before that late night meeting.
No, it is not.
No, before that late night meeting, there was no talk about this decision being delayed.
There was day before.
I mean, you know, the Bharatiya Janata Party has to be blind. This has been in the public discourse for such a long time.
No, it is not.
Your own leaders are talking about it.
Well,
we have reporters on the ground who are giving us feelers.
Only UP. Am I right in saying we are not only contesting UP? This election is all over India. Madhya Pradesh,
No, but isn't
Bihar,
Mr. Narendra Modi your prime ministerial
these are our
candidate?
strongholds. These are also important, na?
Isn't Mr. Narendra Modi your prime ministerial candidate? What about his seat? Where should he be contesting from? Doesn't everyone want to know?
With great respect, Mr. Singh.
When the time comes, which is on 2 days from now, you will hear about it.
Well, so the suspense continues. But Mr. Brajesh Kalappa, before you take on or mount an offensive on Mr. Siddharth Singh, the question applies to your party also.
Okay.
See, they are developing cold feet for a different reason. They are not announcing, their prime ministerial candidate seat. What is wrong with your party?
What's wrong with our party? We are doing very well.
No, you have a unique situation where your party is not clear about their strategy for the 2014 elections.
I beg your pardon. I think, see, Rahul Gandhi has made it very clear and amply clear in a speech in the AICC that our focus is the 70 crore people who are below the middle class and above the poverty BPL. Right? So this is our focus. We are not going to concentrate on...
Why have your leaders developed cold feet? Why do you have Mr. Manish Tiwari eyeing the Chandigarh seat? Of course, that is a history now because the announcement has happened. Mr. P. Chidambaram, there was talk throughout the day that he requested for something which was turned down. Then you have Sachin Pilot, who offered his seat to cricketer turned politician Mohammad Azharuddin. Jayanti Natarajan is reluctant to contest elections because she wants to contribute more for the party. You have a lot of people, G.K. Vasan, a similar situation. You have a lot of reasons, and Javed, correct me if I am wrong, where there are senior Congress leaders who said, we want to work with the party, we want to strengthen the Sangathan.
No, you'll appreciate.
Are they developing cold feet that they won't be able to win? 10 years of anti-incumbency.
No, you'll appreciate that most of the leaders you're speaking about hail from Tamil Nadu. And you'll appreciate that we had an alliance there, and we don't have an alliance today.
Therefore, you have a larger number of seats to contest.
So
all of them should be contesting.
All of them should be contesting.
We have 40 seats and we are contesting all 40 of them, right? So, but we also require leaders who are recognized throughout the state of Tamil Nadu to go around the state to canvass with the party. So we require that, and of course this is something which the leaders are doing, and it's very noble of them to have done that, to have offered to canvass for other candidates.
Do you think it's noble, or there's another word for it, chicken-hearted?
No, chicken-hearted is not the word. Come on, no, please. As far as
there are always two ways to look at things in politics, or anything else in life. How this is being perceived, and politics, Javed, is all about perception.
Absolutely.
The way it is being seen of all these leaders, whatever they are planning to do, is nothing but chickening out. Perhaps they realize that they will not be able to win. Would you agree with this assessment?
No, I wouldn't say that. There are leaders in Tamil. If one has to admit it's a little bit of a tough election in Tamil Nadu. There's really little, thing to say, little to say on that. But having said that, it's always been Rahulji's ideal to contest all seats across the board, and this is really an ideal situation for our leadership to grow in the state, and we really look forward to a situation like this where we don't have to depend on an alliance partner and really go for it alone. I mean, this is really an ideal situation for the future.
Let me get in, Javed, the third dimension of this particular debate. That is Mr. Deepak Vajpayee, who represents the Aam Aadmi Party, was a journalist about 2 months till about 2 months back. Mr. Deepak Vajpayee, what is wrong with your party? What is ailing your party, you tell me? Not even 1.5 years old, you have a situation where Shazia Elmi says, don't pit me against Sonia Gandhi. Perhaps she feels that she doesn't want to lose again. She lost RK Puram, she could lose from Raebareli also.
Well, Sanket, that is not the case with us. You see, our national convener, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, during Delhi elections, challenged Sheila Dikshit ji, contested against her and defeated her. One of the tallest leader of our party, Mr. Dr. Kumar Vishwas, has challenged the symbol of dynasty politics. And
have you read Mr. Yogendra Yadav's tweets today,
Rahul Gandhi
Deepak?
in Amethi. Let me give me 30 seconds to answer.
Have you read his tweets that he posted this afternoon?
Let me complete my answer in 30 minutes, Sanket.
No. 30 minutes is a long time. It's a lifetime in television. My point
30
is...
seconds I said.
No,
Sanket,
my point is, have you read his tweets?
I think the other two panelists have spoken enough. And if it's my turn, please allow me to put across my point of view. I am saying that Arvind Kejriwal is fielded against Sheila Dikshit in Delhi and he defeats her. Another tallest leader, one of the tallest leaders of the party, Dr. Kumar Vishwas, is fielded against Rahul Gandhi because we are fighting against dynasty politics. And the party also challenges that, in case...
Now, Deepak, this is your argument of convenience. This is what has the Aam Aadmi Party comfortable.
And Shadia's case, of course.
No, these arguments that you are laying out, this is something that Aam Aadmi Party leaders will find comfortable saying. Have you, my second question to you was, have you read Mr. Yogendra Yadav's tweets somewhere around 2:30 this afternoon?
What? Sorry, you tell me what is the question.
Let me read it out for you. We are playing it on our screen. I have just learned that BJP Dirty Tricks Department is planning to release some disinformation about me very soon. Do not. So why is the BJP planning to target me? Are they worried about losing in Gurgaon? Do check facts before believing any allegations which are likely to come soon. Why is Mr. Yogendra Yadav so worried? Why is he so upset about certain dirty tricks department which he feels if the BJP will work against him, will unearth something about him?
Well, Sanket, the apprehension is about the dirty tricks departments of these parties. You understand? Now, stake seems to be very high for these two parties. You can say the two parties are desperate. The kind of attacks that were carried out on Arvind when he was in Gujarat, the kind of attacks that happened on other leaders like Manish Sisodiya and Gopal Rai.
Are you aware what is supposed to come?
There's been a misinformation campaign against
Do you know what is about to come?
As well. The question here was whether the leaders, the political leaders are developing cold feet, whether parties are developing cold feet. They are afraid of contesting seats that they don't consider safe. That perhaps was the debate I was told, and here I am saying that's not the case with the Aam Aadmi Party. We have always taken the challenge, and if you have taken Shazia's name, Shazia Ilmi ji has been on record saying that Salman Khurshid happens to be a symbol of corruption, and so she wanted to be fielded against Salman Khurshid. But in our party, leaders don't decide their seat. It's party that decides the seat. I'll tell you, my first person experience has been, with the party, that whenever someone...
No, your cadre is very upset. The Aam Aadmi Party is very upset with the fact that, some high-profile people have been para-dropped. We have seen those experiences in the past.
No. Sanket, what happens when we field KP Singh from Gautam Budh Nagar? People come and say that who knows him? He is from Fonarva, which is umbrella organization of RWAs. When we field Gulpanag, they say no.
When you field Gulpanag, glad you brought up Gulpanag. Javed, Gulpanag
that is not happening.
Openly advocated and openly, talked about Narendra Modi in 2012. And now you have her becoming the candidate for the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, absolutely. You have people changing. Why just pick out Gulpanag? There you'll find any number of people.
Even Kumar Vishwas, he spoke very highly about Narendra Modi. In fact, he said he is Neelkant. He compared him to Lord Shiva. And the same gentleman is today trying to wear a secular hat.
But this happens in Sanket. This happens in most political parties. Mr. Ramkripal Yadav, who's today joined the BJP, till the other day, he used the choicest of epithets for Mr. Narendra Modi. There are lots of congressmen, people who are now in the Congress party, who till the other day were bad-mouthing the Congress leadership. So these are political weathercocks, who change their affiliations, who very conveniently change their ideology.
The real issue here is that these parties are so desperate at this point. The real worry of our party is that, candidates like Pawan Kumar Bansal, candidates like Mr. Subodh Kant Sahai are being fielded by the Congress party, and candidates like Yedirappa and Sri Ramalu are being fielded by the BJP.
No,
Why?
actually, what
That's
he's saying
the
is
real
right.
debate today.
What he's saying is absolutely right. You see, today the BJP, you see, in the South, we've had several fan clubs becoming political parties. We have had MGR's fan club, which became a political party, NTR's fan club, which became a political party. But today we have a cadre-based political party turning into a fan club. A party like the BJP today has become a fan club for
Well, many
Narendra
would
Modi.
say the same for the Congress also.
No, I'm sorry, I don't agree
There is a
with that.
fan club for Rahul Gandhi. Everything Rahul Gandhi will decide.
Please, you don't have Moditwa, you don't have Modified, you don't have Modi Cha, everything. Oh, Modi.
Well, you have Raga Thali. I mean, this can go on and on.
No, please.
Mr. Kalappa, this will go on and on.
Even, see, listen to this point. You see, in regard to Bellary, in regard to where Sri Ramulu is going to contest, a senior leader, a leader of the opposition, Sushma Swaraj raises an issue. She says, no, these people are tainted. And this objection is completely set aside. Meaning, I can assure you that tomorrow Murli Manohar Joshi is not likely to get the ticket from Varanasi. I can assure you. Because the man has become bigger than the party. And remember that this is a cadre-based party we are speaking about.
Okay, let's do one thing.
Supposedly cadre-based.
Javed, did you just observe the sort of words that Pawan Kumar Bansal is actually using for himself? He feels that he has, tried to smile through what has happened over the past 1 year. He says, I'm nonchalant about what has happened. I will smile through this particular incident. What do you think is actually the strategy of the Congress party? You have been very closely monitoring this party for decades now. What really is their strategy? Winnability?
Well, absolutely. Most political parties at the time of the elections go for winnability. They pay lip service, and it's been proved time and again. They pay lip service to all these high idols of corruption, of weeding out corruption, of weeding out criminals. But just do a study of both the BJP and the Congress.
In fact, we'll play out the list that ADR has actually managed to put out of the candidates that have been declared so far and their status at this moment. How many of them have criminal records, both civil as well as criminal records. We'll put that out, but this is the graphic that we are putting out right now. Subodh Kant Sahai from Ranchi, Pawan Kumar Bansal from Chandigarh, Veerappa Moily from Karnataka. But Mr. Kalappa, the point that Javed was actually mentioning is the Congress indulging in lip service. I mean, I'll get to BJP later, but what about the Congress? Why did you sack Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal then? Why did you remove Mr. Subodh Kant Sahai then, if they were to be re-inducted like this?
You see, there is a difference between sacking and asking a person to step aside pending inquiry. And that inquiry is complete today, and it has been amply proved today that there was nothing.
Mr. Singh, do you buy that argument?
Against Pawan Kumar Bansal. You have to remember that Pawan Kumar Bansal has never spent any time in jail, right? And because prima facie there was evidence, and that's the reason Mr. Yadurappa had to go to jail, and 17 ministers in Karnataka was sacked.
Mr. Siddharth Singh, do you buy that argument?
There's also a minister in
certainly not. That's
Gujarat,
what I'm saying.
Babulal
He is an
Bukharia,
accused, but he was made a government approver. And he was not even investigated. I think all the channels have shown that in case of Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal. Subodh Kant Sahai has not been given a clean chit. Subodh Kant Sahai is not even being questioned by the CBI. So how do you use CBI to give a clean chit or make them not an accused but as a kind of a friend to the CBI? Then you say he is not being charged. I think it's all a farce. It's both Mr. Subodh Kant Sahai on the Colgate side and Mr. Pawan Bansal have a lot to answer, and the Congress party needs to answer why they were not booked or there no FIR was made.
But the Congress will mount the same argument on you.
Well, I will give it to you if you allow me a patient hearing for 1 minute. Mr. Yadurappa, we had very clearly said, Sanket, you will remember, that if he is accused, not convicted, we say if he is accused by any of the constitutional authorities, he will be removed as the chief minister within 24 hours. We did that. And then
brought him back.
Left the party. We didn't ask him to leave the party. He left the party, he contested, he became an MLA. Then out of 9 charges which were framed against him, 7 of them have been dropped. 2 are still pending, but there is nothing much when the investigation is on or the prosecution is on, nothing much is coming against
Now,
him.
Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh,
offered him,
you know, this is one
seat
particular point where
rather
both the
than
Congress and the
making him
BJP
party
will be able
president
to
or
mount
giving him a
argument
post
after
at the
argument
central
after
level.
argument. Mr. Singh, you know, this is one point where both the Congress and the BJP will fire enough
sorry,
ammunition
well,
on
it
each
is
other.
your
The point here is,
it's Sanket, it is your journalistic acumen to decide whether you can put them on the same balance or not.
I think I
don't
can.
think it amounts to the same thing.
Why does
And
Janardhan
coming
Reddy
on
have
the
to continue to
Sriram
remain in jail,
Raju,
Mr. Singh?
Let's understand that also.
your own party leadership was unhappy with, the Sri Ramulu's induction.
But Janardhan Reddy
No,
continues to
again,
remain in jail and he is the main patron of the party.
You see, the issue was raised. Please go back and see the tweet. The issue was raised.
He was jailed for
BSR
trying to bribe a
There
judge.
there
I
is
hope
a
you know that.
Mining scam. Many people under the BSR. Sriram Lalu has no FIR. Nothing has
Okay,
been
next
raised
question.
against him. Neither he is
Answer,
tainted.
Mr. Kalappa.
So what we have done, we have not taken BSR.
Mr.
or
Singh,
merged
we've taken that
No,
argument.
I hope
It's
you're aware.
inconclusive, taken
Who
that
doesn't have a
argument.
tainted
Next
record
point.
or
I
he's
hope
been
you're aware,
charged.
Mr. Singh, that Sriramulu, the main patron for Mr. Sriramulu's party is Janardhan Reddy, who continues to be in jail.
Well, we
And why
haven't
is he in
taken
jail? For
The
having
issue
tried
is,
to
have
bribe
we
a
taken
judge.
them?
60 crore
Have we
rupees.
taken them?
I hope you
Answer
know that.
Don't twist around. Mr. Karappa, don't twist around the thing. Have we taken the Mr. Reddy's?
No, but who is the patron for Sriramulu, Mr. Singh?
Forget about who is the patron of all these scams in the which has happened under UPA 1 and UPA 2.
Which scam, sir? You name one scam
Isn't
where the
Jan Janpat
congressman
the
is
patron
involved,
of all
sir?
these
Is
things?
any congressman involved in 2G, sir?
What about the other thing, which is the helicopter scam? When
What
leader
helicopter
comes as
scam,
AP,
sir?
And the family, why don't you come? Who are the patrons there?
No, it's very nice for
You
you to,
remove those
carry on
patrons.
this negative narrative. But I think people will also ask questions.
there is nothing
Who is
negative
involved?
in
Which
narrative.
congressman is
We
involved in
haven't taken the
2G?
patrons.
Which congressman is involved
That's
in
the
Colgate?
answer.
No, this kind of, whitewashing will not work. I'm sorry.
Well,
No,
you
it's
know,
not a
this is
question of
Mr.
whitewashing.
Siddharth Nath Singh,
Have
Mr.
we
Kalappa,
taken
you know,
the
again,
patrons?
as I mentioned 3 minutes back, this is
Have we
one
taken the
particular
patrons?
argument
That's the
where
answer.
both
If
of
you
you
can't
have
find an
enough
answer, I think
arrows
you're
in your
lost
quiver.
out.
No, this is one particular point where both of you will have enough arrows in your quiver, but Javed, the bigger point today has been the cold feet that political parties have developed, whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party, whether it's the Congress or the Bharatiya Janata Party. Before we go into a break, I will give the final word to all our panelists, starting with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh, what exactly do you have, Mr. Yogendra Yadav, against Mr. Yogendra Yadav?
I don't know. I've heard it. You see, when they talk about dirty tricks department of BJP, I'm rather amazed. What is this dirty trick department when they all throughout in last 1.5 years, it is their dirty tricks department which comes, they make an accuse, they accuse and they run away. So that's a simple story. That is spit and run has come from them. It's their dirty tricks department. They do press conference, they raise the finger, but they have nothing to corroborate. as an
Deepak, what
evidence.
do you fear?
So rather they should be answering what their dirty tricks department is up to.
What does Mr. Yogendra Yadav fear?
I
We
don't
did
know.
try to get in
He
touch with
feels
him,
that he
but we
cannot
could not
win,
get an answer.
Gurgaon, or there is something against him which has come out and he's come to know about it. So
No,
he's
that's
just
why
posting
we are
it
asking
and
the
saying
Aam Aadmi
accusing
Party
BJP.
representative.
That is called the spit and run.
I'm putting that question to the Aam Aadmi Party representative. Deepak, what is it that you fear?
Well, Sanket, I would say that you've been a little unfair in this debate. I did not get much opportunity to speak. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. I have answered your question before when you asked the same question. The real debate here is, and the real worry here is, that despite corruption being at the center stage, BJP says that the main plank, the main issue on which they are contesting
come on.
election is corruption.
You continue with
Rahul Gandhi
Somnath
talks of
Bharti,
corruption,
who
but
they
they are
don't
fielding
understand.
candidates. No,
And then you
Yadurappa,
raise
whose
fingers at
symbol of
other
corruption is
political
being
parties.
fielded.
Come on.
No,
Let me
Deepak,
answer
why are
the
you
question,
developing
please.
cold
You
feet?
spoke
No.
for one complete hour.
If there is
I mean, it
something,
unfair
if there is
you
some
don't allow
dirty
me to
works
speak.
department
There's
as
no
you
point
claim that is
participating in
working,
debate, Sanket.
then
One
face
and a
it.
half year party
This is
has
the
to
murky
raise
world of
I mean,
politics.
Please allow me to speak. I mean, it is
And a person
if
who
your
wants a
commitment to
referendum in
anti-corruption
Kashmir
plan
and
is
you're
going to
trying
be
to accuse
measured
us.
in your decibels, level of decibels. I mean, I'm sorry. this is a meaningless debate if you don't allow the panelists to speak on the issue. I am saying that today, I mean, Mr. Modi, now they claim that there's a wave in his favor. The entire country is looking up to him. You know, why doesn't he set an example by sacking a convict in his government, Mr. Babulal Bukhiria, who's a convict, who's a scamster? Why don't you set up an example by sacking Mr. Solanki from a ministry who's an accused in 450 crore rupees scam? Now, Pawan Kumar,
you should go and look at the case, what
all
the
of
case
them are
is all
being
about.
painted. Sanket, it's a very sorry
Sanket,
state of
allow me to
affairs,
ask him a
I would
question.
say, and
Sanket,
please,
allow me to ask
well,
him
Mr.
a
Siddharth Nath Singh,
I would urge both the parties to kindly
Mr. Singh,
join the
Mr.
judgment
Vajpayee,
that
Mr.
we are
Kalappa and Javed
Leave
Ansari.
the politics.
let me
Please
have
don't
what
give
is the
these
case
people
against
Today I'd like to
Please
tell you,
let them die the
Sanket,
political
that
death.
there is no question of Mr. Murli Manoj Joshi ever getting a ticket from Varanasi, and I've said that, and the reasons I'll tell you, because
you are a
you'll find the
genius, you know our election
people who have
committee.
been attacked by Mr. Modi. One,
you
Sanjay
are really
Joshi.
a genius. You
Two,
don't know about Congress, but
two,
you know
Haren
about the BJP
Pandya.
election
Three,
committee.
Rahul Sharma. Four, Sanjeev Bhatt. Five, Pradeep Sharma. Six, Kuldeep Sharma. And you'll know the reason why I'm saying that Murli Manoj Joshi will never get the ticket from Varanasi.
What about Teesta Setalwar, who was working for you as an NGO?
Okay,
And
while
has-
this goes on
has
and on,
siphoned off the 4
Mr.
crores which was
Kalappa,
given
Mr.
for the
Singh,
Gulbarga Society.
No, I don't
Kalappa,
want to
Mr.
bring the
Singh.
caste-based issue, but there is
And let
clearly
me
a caste bias
Sanket,
here.
can I ask
No.
Aam Aadmi Party?
No,
what
since
does
our
he know
Congress and
about
BJP
Solanki's
panelists
case?
were...
Can he narrate it
You know,
in
Mr.
front
Singh,
of your channel?
we're completely short on time,
No,
but,
you know, this is exactly what it is. It is a spit and run theory
No,
of
no,
Aam
no.
Admi Party.
No, Siddharth Nath Singh, we have completely
They
run
don't
out
know
of
what is
time.
the case,
I
but they
have
raise the finger on
gentlemen, gentlemen, please allow me. This is a 60-minute show. I have completely run out of time. But from what I see, Deepak,
government in this country, Mr.
from what I see, is that the Congress and the BJP, Javed, have this some understanding. They're talking in code language about something which we will decipher in tomorrow's show. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for participating in this particular debate on Newsnight.